Hey again. So I realized I didn't really introduce myself in my last video, but hi, my name is Bree. I'm a university student. I'm studying musical theater, English, creative writing, and I have an audition. I'm getting ready for that for next week, and I thought I'd take you along for the journey. So today I'm just gonna be rehearsing my audition song. I'm gonna be doing a little warm up. So let's go. Country boy, I love you. So my voice is kind of tired today, so even though I wasn't practicing for too long, I did a little vocal cool down because I think I'm kind of still getting over my cold, I guess. But I was also thinking like, oh, like my voice isn't sounding as good as it normally does on this song, and then I realized I'm running on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Guys, I don't encourage that, okay? And I don't normally do that. I don't even know how I'm functioning, to be honest. But I just, I procrastinated an assignment that I shouldn't have. And so I was like, well, okay, I gotta face the consequences. I gotta stay up late to finish this. Don't make a habit of that. Luckily, that's like one of the last things I have to do because, end of the school year. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to get a quick sandwich. And then I have my last class of the year. Okay, so I had a nice nap. Wish it was longer, but now I'm gonna grab dinner and then I have rehearsal. Alright, I got 8 hours of sleep last night. Hooray. And now I'm going back to the practice room to practice some more. Good morning. I have an exam today, and then I might have some plans later. I'm not sure. And then I'm gonna be working on assignments and my audition song. So let's go. All right, that was actually a pretty good exam. I got out like in less than an hour. I'm going to be preparing for my audition by breaking down my song. Basically like breaking it down into like tactics, verbs. If you know what I mean, you know. I don't feel like explaining it. I'm sorry. Girl. It was giving pretentious theater major. I promise I'm not pretentious. I was just lazy. But anyways, now that I'm editing, I'm gonna explain what I was talking about. Um, Basically, actioning is just assigning an action to each line that you say, because it's like it's hard to just be like act sad, because there's a lot of different ways you can be sad. Um, but if you have an action like, hold on, I'm gonna find one right now. Belittle. Maybe you're belittling someone out of sadness. I don't know, or you're begging someone out of sadness. I went to the B section of the book. That would be actioning. And the actions, the book I mean is Actions, the Actor's Thesaurus. And in this, it describes actioning in the introduction as it heightens the actor's spontaneity, discouraging him or her from monotonously and automatically replicating a tone. If the actor plays a real and specific action on each sentence, then even though the audience are unlikely to be able to identify the technique or the individual action, the work will be interesting and absolutely watchable because of its precision. So yeah, that's what actioning is. It can be quite tedious to like, get out a script and annotate it with each action, but I do recommend it. So I don't want to talk about what the song is because I want to keep as many details of this audition as confidential as possible. But I will say like the song is kind of repetitive in a sense, so I want to do that just to make sure that I'm not like acting repetitive, if that makes sense. The lyrics written down here, well, almost actually, I gotta finish that. This, which actions, actors, thesaurus, but I highly recommend if you're studying theater. Let's get started. Hey guys, so it's a couple nights later, Sunday, which is 2 days before my audition. I just did, I have like a tarot deck, and I just did a reading for myself about this audition and how I can set myself up for success. I got several cards that had to do with negative thinking and breaking away from it, and how like I'm like judging myself. Called me out. I want to take this opportunity to tell you guys, because I mean I need to hear this as well, that if you are preparing for some sort of audition or even just like an interview for your dream job or something like that, I think one of the biggest ways you can sabotage yourself is by thinking negatively and telling yourself over and over, oh, you're not gonna do well in this. Like, I find that it's usually when I'm the least confident in myself that I perform the worst. Like when I'm confident in myself, I find that usually I end up performing well. It's funny how that works. Let me like come at you with this from a practical perspective. If you're telling yourself that you can't get this job, it's too unrealistic, blah blah blah, then over time, like you're just, it's gonna make you not want to do the things that could get you that job. Like you're not going to book the interview, or when you are in the interview, you're gonna be like in your head, and then you might not perform as well. Like, you know what I mean? I hope this is making sense. So yeah, if anyone else has big auditions or job interviews, if you want a normal job coming up, then wish you the best of luck, or break a leg, and hopefully you're not being too hard on yourself. And I'm also gonna try to not be as hard on myself. Also, another thing too is that the reason I look like this is because I've been bed rotting all day. But that was a conscious decision. Like I literally One thing that I'll try to do is that I will try to make my to-do list completely clear on Sundays so that I can just have the day like completely to myself and just rest from the week. Like I find it can be a good incentive to get work done too, like on Saturdays, because like it's like who wants to do work on a Saturday? But then you remember, oh, I get to rest tomorrow, like without doing anything, without worrying about any tasks if I do this. So I should do it. Also, like if you're a singer, it's good to rest your voice by doing that. Recently, I had a performance, and this ties into why I kept getting so many cards of negative thinking. I recently had a performance, and by recent I mean like last week, that I really was not happy with. And leading up to it, I was like practicing like over and over and over again. I think that kind of tired myself out, especially because I was also like I kind of had a cold during that time. So like I wasn't really doing myself any favors by practicing so much. And also, once again, I kept thinking about, oh my gosh, this one part of the song I sound really bad on. And sure enough, well, I don't know, other people say that it was good or they just haven't noticed it, but I personally was not happy with how I did it. This is your sign to carve a day in your schedule to bed rot if you're able to. Because sometimes, like, I know sometimes you're not able to. Like last week, I actually did give myself tasks to do on Sunday, but honestly, I've been pretty good about keeping that streak. So another thing too is that like I kind of feel like Loki kind of icky and gross after spending the whole day in bed. So like I find it's a good way to like get the ick from like procrastinating, because like tomorrow I think I'm gonna be like a weapon of productivity because I'm tired of being in my bed. But also now I have to go back into my bed because I have to go to sleep. But yeah. Anyways, good night. Y'all, look at this sticker I got on my water bottle. Oh my gosh, how did I get that? Oh yeah, this is like my Canadian heart lunch, by the way. If you couldn't tell by my accent and like the beautiful brown snow in my last video, I am Canadian. Isn't she lovely? Okay, anyway, we have an election coming up. You should vote. Thank you. Good morning. Speaking of being Canadian, I'm repping this shirt today because it kind of ties into what I talked about in my last video with being okay being alone, which by the way, if you didn't watch that, you should watch that. I'm gonna like link it in the description or something. I got this shirt from going on a little Charlottetown solo trip last summer because friends and I were talking about going to Charlottetown, but some of them I ended up not being friends with anymore, and the others just like didn't want to go or like couldn't afford it. So then I was like, I'm gonna go by myself. I'm gonna save up my own money and do it myself. And I did, and I went to see Anne for Gables and Anne and Gilbert, which both were amazing shows that I highly recommend. Quite literally been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Anyway, so today I have a voice lesson in about an hour and a half. I have another rehearsal from 6:30 to 9:30 tonight. I'm gonna hopefully get some last minute assignments and studying done in the meantime, and then I'm hoping that when I get home, I'm gonna get ready for bed because I have my audition tomorrow. And you know, girls gotta get well rested. Also, another thing I did today was, hold on. So basically, I got these journal prompts from the YouTube channel Malika is My Guardian Angel, and they're designed to basically help you tackle limiting beliefs. That way you can manifest something. Because like I was talking about last night, your mindset is a big part of it as well. And really, it's like when it comes to stuff like that, it's one of the few things that you actually have control over. So it's good to prioritize it. Filling that out really helped me. I highly recommend those prompts if there's something that you want to manifest more of in your life, but you have some like mindset blocks around it. So I don't know how loud my fan is in this video, but I'm in bed now. It's the end of the day. I didn't really film a whole lot, but I ended up feeling kind of down today. I had a good voice lesson, but I just wasn't super happy with how I sounded when I practiced afterwards. But I also didn't get the best sleep last night either. There's a theme here. I'm making sure that I'm going to bed very early today because I'm not risking anything. I also read over the journaling that I did today, And I kind of just wanted to highlight a few things that I want to remind myself and also anyone else who is also maybe going through a high stakes audition or job interview process right now. And it's above all to focus on what you can control. I think one side of me that I haven't liked to see get brought out is the insecure side that, like, specifically gets jealous of other people. I don't like feeling jealous of other people because I don't like feeling hostile in any way towards people who haven't done anything to warrant it. It's not someone else's fault that they're talented. Well, I mean, I guess it is, but it's not a bad thing. And it doesn't affect me. It's not my business. Something that I've said before to people, Olivia Rodrigo and Chapel Roan have very different voices, very different sounds, but people still love both of them. And it doesn't take away from either one's success. And even though, like, of course, in this case is a limited amount of spots, I'm just trying to remind myself that other people's inherent talent does not mean that I'm any less than. And also that even though this is the most important audition to me that I've had, I'm also trying to remind myself that it's just another one, and we're going to have more. And whatever happens doesn't take away from my abilities. They're not going to magically go away when I get cast. I'm not going to, like, Ariel from The Little Mermaid lose my voice. It's still here. She's still here. You know, she's come this far, and she didn't come this far just to come this far. And I guess, like, the other thing would be just in the vein of, like, focusing on what you can control, ensuring that you're prepared, you're punctual, making sure that your mindset is in the right place, and I guess just letting go of the control and trusting that the universe will ensure that the right opportunities don't pass you by. Because there's been times where it's like I've auditioned for stuff I haven't gotten in and I've been pretty disappointed. But yeah, for example, when I was at one university, I auditioned for the spring musical. I didn't get in and I was really disappointed. But then I ended up, like, not returning to that school next semester anyway. Not because of that. There was other stuff going on. But I wouldn't have been able to make that choice if I had gotten in. And even though it was a bit of a tumultuous time, I am glad that I took that time off. Maybe that's a story that I'll tell in more detail another time, but for now I'll just say that I'm glad I took that time off. And even though it is kind of confusing to explain to people, like, yeah, I'm a first year here, but also I did a semester at another university, I think overall the lessons that I gained during that time were worth it. Oh, and the last thing, of course, that I recommend before embarking on something like this is taking care of yourself, ensuring that you're well rested, eating healthy, hydrated well, especially if it's a singing thing, and exercising. I think I'm gonna try to get a workout in tomorrow because I haven't done that in a little bit. A formal one anyway. I've still been somewhat active in terms of walking, but yeah. So, I'll probably have some more thoughts to give after the audition tomorrow. Um, but yeah, thank you for coming along with me this far, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. So, I just had my audition. As you can see, I'm smiling, I'm not sobbing or breaking down. The thing that I've realized is that I think being in musical theater programs and in environments like these where it's more competitive, it can kind of cultivate a sense of perfectionism, or at least it has for me. Because even in the audition, that there were certain things I was thinking like, oh, I could have done that better. But at the same time, the song I was singing was supposed to be a little brattier, a little uglier, so maybe I shouldn't have been as on my case about sounding pretty. But anyway, and being in this room where the environment was just so welcoming and kind, it made me remember something that I've heard before that I completely forgot until after the audition, which is that the casting director is on your side. They're rooting for you. And I mean, it makes sense, and I think it's the same phenomenon with a job interviewer as well. Because when you think about it, like, if you are the qualified candidate, if you have an amazing audition and you get the role, you get the position, it makes their job easier, you know? Like, they don't have to keep hunting. They don't have to worry about, oh, are we gonna find the right person for this? Like, because you aced it. Like, they want you to. I think part of it is also that this is a professor at my school that I've worked with many times before, but it felt less like, oh, I have to, like, fight to impress this person, and more like, she's helping me. She's helping me do this well. that's where I think this video is gonna end because I'm not gonna hear back for a while. Um, but I hope that this video has helped some people, or at the very least entertained you. I don't know. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for all the love in the last video. And I'll see you in the next one.